Things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Our virtues set us apart. We daily work to build champions in body, mind, and soul. It's
It's a terrific Tuesday afternoon in Central South Carolina as we get set for a softball doubleheader here at Varsity Field. We welcome you on the campus of Southern Wesleyan University for this doubleheader between the Erskine Flying Fleet and the Southern Wesleyan Warriors, trying to defend their home field after going to Erskine just a few days ago and beating the Flying Fleet in a doubleheader with a combined score 20-1. We'll see if they do that. Similar fate here this afternoon. My name is Jordan York, and I welcome you to Varsity Field as we get underway here. On the mound for the Warriors this afternoon is Olivia Haig, the senior transfer from Truett McConnell University. Fires a ball for her first pitch. Her first batting opposition is Savannah Coster, the right fielder from Summerville, South Carolina, a senior as well. And a 1-1 count to start things off. A crack down the left field line goes foul, and the count moves to 1-2. On the mound this season, Haig has seen 13 appearances. This is now her 14th, and she is the team leader among starters in ERA. Just 1.65 on the season. That is one of the best ERAs in the Conference Carolinas, and she'll look to shut down this Flying Fleet offense here this afternoon. The 2-2 pitch for Haig. The windup delivers its chop back towards second. Easy throw there made by the second baseman in Reagan Fulcher for the first out of the inning. Now Gracie Merrill will see the plate for the Flying Fleet. Merrill this season a 193 batting average. Was 1 for 5 against Southern Wesleyan in the doubleheader last Thursday. She sends this one toward the road and foul. Of course, these two teams coming into this game, very different paths to get here. Southern Wesleyan 25-11 and seeking either a share of or a solo clinching of the second consecutive Southwest Division title, as we see the throw made by the shortstop to get the out for out number 2. But 25-11 on the year, 13-4 are the Warriors. They have yet to lose a doubleheader in conference play. They've had splits with a few different teams, but the only time they lost both games of a doubleheader this season was against Lenore-Rhine, who is number 18 in the country and is currently the top of the South Atlantic Conference. A 1-0 count as SWU looks to get out of the inning. The first game between these teams on Thursday was fairly competitive. It was 5-1 final, went the full 7 innings. But then the second, the Warriors' bats really got hot, a 15-0 run rule victory. Hannah Lewis drives one up the middle. That'll be a base hit and start the 2-out rally for the Flying Fleet. The catcher recording the hit. And there's a reason she's 5th on the team in batting average, batting .263 on the year. She has her 21st hit of the season. And now we'll see Gabby Burrows, the third baseman who was the only person to score in the doubleheader for Erskine last Thursday. She homered a solo shot in Game 1 in the 7th inning. She leads the Flying Fleet with 7 home runs this season, is second on the team in batting average with .326. Before going 0 for 1 in Game 2 against SWU, she had 7 straight games with at least 1 hit at the plate. And she sends one towards short. The throw made in time, and that will end the inning. So 1 hit for the Flying Fleet, but they don't get much more. We're scoreless as the Warriors come up to bat when we come back.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Erskine seeking their 10th win of the regular season, and they'll be trusting Erin Redmond on the mound this afternoon. She has a 3.75 ERA this season in 28 innings pitched, has a win-loss record of 1-3 on the season, but this her 6th start of the year. She had a strong performance against Southern Wesleyan in Game 1 of the doubleheader on Thursday. She went 6 2/3 innings, allowed 7 hits, only 2 earned runs, but ultimately could not get the victory for the Flying Fleet. Marissa Moreland leading off for the Warriors. Moreland was terrific in the doubleheader on Thursday, was 1 for 6 from the batter's box, but had 3 RBIs, was very effective in scoring runs. She has 22 RBIs this season, second on the Warriors in batting average, batting .333. A 1-2 count here for Redmond. Both these teams in the Southwest Division, where Southern Wesleyan is trying to win their 2nd consecutive division title. Currently they sit tied with Young Harris at a record of 9-1 in division play. And the Warriors and the Mountain Lions will meet up on Saturday in what could be a pivotal doubleheader to determine the division title, as that fly ball goes into right field but does not go far enough and will be caught for the first out of the inning. Going over to make the play was Savannah Coster, the Somerville senior, making an impact early. And Reagan Fulcher, the second baseman, will step up now, batting .290 on the season. Was also 1 for 6 in the doubleheader against the Flying Fleet. Had just 1 RBI. Looking for a little bit better of a performance this afternoon. Redmond rifles one just outside for a ball. Still no score here early on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Varsity Field, the site of competition, as Fulcher chips one towards short. The throw made in time, and another quick out. The Flying Fleet trying to mirror what Southern Wesleyan did in the first inning. Southern Wesleyan yet to record a hit in this inning. Of course, it was with 2 outs where Erskine got their first in the top. Now it'll be Rebecca Lamb, who's batting .326 this season, one of 5 different Warriors with a batting average above 300 on the season. She was 1 for 5 in the doubleheader against Erskine. Has 15 RBIs this season, 3 homers as she sends one foul into left. Seeking what could perhaps be her 30th hit of the season is the junior from Locust Grove, Georgia, a graduate of Locust Grove High School. Has had a strong career with the Warriors so far. She started 39 of 40 games as a sophomore last season and was third on the team in batting average with a .358 for the year. A little bit of a dip this season, but she can get it back up in a hurry. The 1-2. Swung on and missed, and Redmond will get the Flying Fleet out of the inning without any damage from the Warriors. A strong start for Erskine. We're scoreless here in SWU after 1.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Haig back out on the mound after allowing just 1 hit in the first inning. No further damage done, and she'll face off against Kennedy Crouch, the first baseman wearing number 15. A sophomore from Granite Falls, North Carolina, has done a terrific job in the batter's box this season. Leads the team with a batting average of .329. And she was 3 for 5 in the doubleheader against the Warriors on Thursday. Has had at least 1 hit in 5 consecutive games and has had 2 hits in 3 of those. Really peaking at the right time as we close in on the home stretch of this regular season. Just a few doubleheaders left. For both sides, and that's a line out directly to short. Damage done quickly, and the first out of the inning is recorded. Erskine getting some good contact here early, but haven't been able to make much from it. As now we'll see Summer Nelson wearing number 67, the senior from Beaufort, North Carolina. Batting .190 this season. And played just 1 game against the Warriors in the first doubleheader. Was 1 for 2. An 0-2 count here for Haig as she seeks her first strikeout of the afternoon. Haig this season 45 strikeouts. Make it 46 as Nelson goes down without a fight. 2 quick outs here for Erskine. And Haig off to another strong start. Has 7 complete games this season, leading the Warriors. And went the full 7, only allowing 1 run against the Flying Fleet in the first game of the doubleheader on Thursday. And the only run she allowed was the homer from Burrows. That pitch just a bit outside for ball 1. Kara West trying to keep the inning alive for the Flying Fleet. She watches that pitch go low. Erskine 7-11 in conference play this season, and 5-5 in the Southwest Division. SWU 13-4 in conference play, 9-1 in the Southwest Division. Their only loss was when they split with Young Harris. The chopper to third base, the throw made in time, and again, another quick inning. We're moving fast here in Central as we're already down to the bottom of the second when we return.
You played before that. Trying to have the trim or something. And it's why should they see where my father greatest team the world has ever seen. Black Warriors FC, with my father greatest team the world has ever seen. West Coast FC, where my father greatest team the world has ever seen. Where my father greatest team the world has ever seen.
The bottom of the second set to get underway here. Redmond back out there, and she'll face off against Chloe Smith, the sophomore from Villarica, Georgia. And she gets a good hit to start off the inning, headed towards center, but able to get over there and make the grab for the first out of the inning is Amber Clark, who you'll see lead off the top of the third for the Flying Fleet. Hit well into left center, just not quite far enough. This is a SWU team that has no shortage of home runs this season. Has 25 home runs on the season compared to their opponent's 11. And Haig, who was doing good work on the mound, will fly out to left. 2 deep flies here in the bottom of the second for the Warriors. And now Abby Schreiner will step up to the plate. The Wabash Valley Community College transfer, who's in year 3, her final year with the Warriors. Posted a .295 average a year ago, and this season has increased to a .368. She's the only Warrior qualified based on the required number of starts and games played you have to have that is on base more than 50% of the time, and her blooper will get her on base here as she finds the gap for the first hit of the afternoon for SWU. So now both teams 1 hit apiece here as we're 2 outs into the bottom of the second. Abby Lawson, the first baseman, now in the batter's box. The righty sends it toward third base. The throw across the diamond made in time, and that will be a quick end to what's been a very fast 2 innings here in Central. Still scoreless, the top of the third when we return. The top of the third here in Central, Amber Clark to lead it off for the Flying Fleet. A fast-moving ball game here in Game 1 of our doubleheader. That ball fouled off on the third base line, and contact was nearly made with the head coach of the Flying Fleet, Eileen Hawkins, who has been around for quite some time, this year 26 with the Flying Fleet, but she has had a number of stops in her illustrious coaching career. She's been at Furman. She was the inaugural coach of the University of Georgia's softball team. And Amber Clark has a single to lead off the inning. But going back to Hawkins' illustrious career, 1,000 career wins. Had career win number 900 a few seasons ago. She was inducted into the Chesapeake College Athletic Hall of Fame and the Erskine Hall of Fame as well. Trying to lay down a bunt is Emily Johnson, unsuccessful. Emily Johnson batting ninth, but third on the team in batting average this season, batting .326. That's a fly ball, headed toward right, standing under it and making the grab for the Warriors. For the first out of the inning. So back to the leadoff with Savannah Coster. And she'll head right back to the dugout. The chopper towards short for the second out of the inning. Madeline Knopp making a lot of plays in that shortstop position. Our apologies, that's Maddie Crouch as shortstop, who will be leading off the bottom of the inning for the Warriors. The pitch just outside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 outs here in this top of the third. Haig trying to just motor through this lineup with a runner on second. And potentially a 4-pitch walk here, unless Haig can find the strike zone. And it will be a 4-pitch walk for Haig. Haig doesn't walk batters very often. Just the 22nd walk she's given up this season. But Merrill now on first, Clark on second, and Hannah Lewis in the batter's box. Five straight balls for Haig, and a chat will be had between Haig and her catcher, Rebecca Lamb. A big momentum shift perhaps here. Erskine having a chance to drive in a run. That'll get through the gap, and the bases are loaded for the Flying Fleet. Hannah Lewis putting the Warriors in a jam with Gabby Burrows at the plate. The most dangerous hitter for Erskine, with a chance to get the Flying Fleet on the board. She lifts one toward left, but it will be caught in left field, and crisis averted for the Warriors. Still scoreless, headed to the bottom of the third, but not without a scare.
You played before that. Trying to have the thrill or something. And it's why. Where should they see? Where my father greatest team the world has ever seen. Black Warriors FC, with my father greatest team the world has ever seen. West Coast FC, where my father greatest team the world has ever seen. Where my father greatest team the world has ever seen.
The bottom of the third inning set to begin here momentarily. Still scoreless here in Central after what was a nice job getting out of a jam for Olivia Haig. With 2 outs, had bases loaded, and Erskine had their best hitter in Burrows at the plate, but she was unable to drive in any runs. And now SWU looking to take the lead here in the bottom of the third. Maddie Crouch to lead off the inning. This season batting .226 on the season. Was 2 for 4 in the doubleheader against Erskine on Thursday. First pitch, finding the zone for a strike. Crouch, the sophomore from Morganton, North Carolina. Watching ball one go by. Has 15 RBIs, 19 hits on the season. Has started all but one game that she's played in this season lifts one up high in the air, and flying in for the Fleet from center field to make the grab is Amber Clark, who seems to be everywhere in the outfield for the Flying Fleet this afternoon. Now the bottom of the order, Megan Ware, who's batting .273 on the season. We'll see the batter's box. She went 0 for in the first game against the Flying Fleet, but was 2 for 2 with 2 hits and 3 RBIs in game number 2. And this one's a liner to left for another quick out. A lot of first pitch swings here for the Warriors. Redmond trying to close out what would be 3 very strong innings for her. Only allowing 1 hit so far today. She was strong in the first game of the doubleheader last week as well. Allowed just 7 hits and only 4 runs against a SWU team that's been very explosive this season, but she's got 3 and a shutout so far. This is a fast-moving ball game. Don't go anywhere, because if you do, chances are when you come back, this might be over. We're scoreless, headed to the top of the 4th when we come back.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Back here in Central, the top of the 4th set to begin, and both teams searching for their first run of today's game, today's doubleheader as well. Kennedy Crouch in the batter's box for the Flying Fleet. She lined out to short last time up. And her first pitch swing was fouled off toward the road to get to the ballpark here this afternoon. A slow ball popped up, and Crouch in short making the catch. So Summer Nelson will step in for Erskine. She struck out looking the last time she was up. We'll see what she does here. Watches Haig's first pitch go by for ball 1. Kara West due up for the Flying Fleet. Haig again high and outside for ball 2. The 2-0 is fouled off, hitting the fencing behind the plate. A good crowd here on a Tuesday afternoon here in Central. Of course, this Southern Wesleyan softball team has been one to follow all season. After the mark they made in the Conference Carolinas a year ago, the question was, could they do even better than that this season? And the answer so far is looking to be yes. Sitting 3rd in the Conference Carolinas, just behind Young Harris and Francis Marion. That ball lifted into left and will be caught for out number 2. So Kara West with 2 outs, trying to get a rally going for the Flying Fleet. First pitch fouled off behind the plate. A 1 count here. 2 outs. Haig trying to get the inning over and done with. That'll find the zone, making it 0-2. And West there thought about going, decided better of it as the ball ended up dropping into the dirt. A little rise ball action here perhaps incoming from Haig. The 1-2 is hit straight into the glove of second base, and that will also end the inning. Still no runs here in Central. It's been a defensive ball game. Will it stay that way? Find out when we return.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Reagan Fulcher to get things going, perhaps here for the Warriors in the bottom of the 4th. Fulcher grounded out to short in her first appearance. Only 1 runner has been on base the entire game for the Warriors. Only 1 hit for the Warriors as well. Struggling to get things going here this afternoon in the pitcher's duel with Aaron Redmond. Beautiful weather this afternoon. Sun is out, fans are out, and vibes are high as a lift into right field by Fulcher will be caught for out number 1. A good crack there, just not quite enough to get over the fence in the outfield. Rebecca Lamb struck out her first time up. Can she make up for that here? Watches first pitch go by for a strike. Redmond's got a lot of speed in her rise ball. Fouled off by Lamb, quickly down 0-2 and in a position that she does not want to be in. Their first ever division title a year ago, trying to go back-to-back. You can't afford any losses here when trying to stay even and then pass Young Harris this weekend if you're the Warriors. Fouled off, keeping the bat alive. The 0-2. Redmond dials it up. Launches high for ball one. Clay Ardeezer, the head coach of the Warriors in his fourth season, has done a tremendous job recruiting, helping this program rise to the level it is now. And Lamb, another strikeout, her second of the day, and the second out of the inning, brings up Chloe Smith. Chloe Smith flew out to center. Her first time up. Currently ahead 1-0 in the count. Southern Wesleyan had 16 wins in conference play a year ago, currently sitting at 13 right now with still a good chunk of the schedule left. A doubleheader here at Varsity Field Friday against Ferrum, then on the road at Young Harris. That's a huge doubleheader for the Warriors at Shorter and at Converse to end the regular season, and then it will be the Conference Carolinas postseason tournament, which there's a very high chance the Warriors will find themselves in, and they could perhaps find themselves in the NCAA tournament at the end of the season when things are all said and done. One of the better teams in the region right now. Huge things perhaps incoming, but they've got to get past Erskine. That rolls to short, and the throw made in time. And again, SWU just can't get anything going offensively. We're still scoreless, 4/7 of the way done here in Central. Inning number 5 when we come back.
If things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Our virtues set us apart. We daily work to build champions in body, mind, and soul. It's
the final 3 innings, or perhaps more here in Central, as we're still even with goose eggs between the Warriors and the Flying Fleet. Haig's still out there, as one would expect. A strong outing so far. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits given up, no runs, and 1 strikeout on the day. She fires another. It's cracked off the bat. A diving grab in center. A tremendous job there, lunging for it by Marissa Moreland, able to get the out. One out here for the Flying Fleet. Still no runners on. Trying to change that was Johnson, but she'll line out directly to second base and bring on Savannah Coster, the right fielder who has 2 groundouts today. You see the infield shift for the Warriors. They know a grounder's coming, most likely. Coster very much likes to run up and slap it rather than stand steady and try and launch it out into the outfield. She runs at it. It gets over the heads of the shift, and it'll be a hit for Coster, her first of the day. And again, another 2-out rally perhaps forming for the Flying Fleet. Gracie Merrill was walked last time up, trying to keep this inning alive. She just barely makes contact and able to get it to drop in between second base and right field. And now a dangerous position as Coster advanced all the way to third. Merrill on first. And Hannah Lewis, who has 2 singles today, is going to step into the batter's box. Burrows on deck for the Flying Fleet. Erskine trying to break the ice with the scoring. And it looks like Haig just lost control there as she threw a bouncer in the dirt. 2 outs, 1 ball, no strikes, 2 runners on. Haig finding the zone, evening the count at 1-1. 5 hits to 1 in favor of Erskine. Statistically, they've been performing better this afternoon. A chopper towards short. The throw is made in time, and crisis again averted by SWU, stepping up defensively when it matters most, and still scoreless, headed to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching the Conference Carolinas Digital Network. This game just started about 45 minutes ago, and yet we're already in the bottom of the 5th. A fast-moving pitcher's duel here in Central as Redmond steps back into the circle for the Flying Fleet. And she's met with a nice swing to start the inning from Haig, but instead it just ends up in the glove in right field for out number 1. Abby Schreiner, the only Warrior with a hit today. She had it in the 2nd inning. We'll see if she can get another one here and perhaps flip the momentum on the side of the Warriors. This tug of war feels very even to this point. Both pitchers performing very well. Might have to give a slight edge to Redmond, who's only allowed just one hit today and has yet to walk anybody. But ultimately, where it matters most, in the run tally, they're even at 0. A 1-1 count for Schreiner. Schreiner pushes one foul. A 1-2 count. Redmond perhaps looking for her third strikeout of the day. She delivers outside the count, even at 2. A 2-2 count. Pressure on both sides in this scoreless Conference Carolina showdown. Schreiner nearly took out the umpire and goes foul again. The umpire on the third base line was fortunate to be paying attention there. Otherwise, he would have gotten clocked in the dome with the laser from Schreiner. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 3 of the day for Redmond sends Schreiner on the walk of shame. Two outs. And it'll be Abby Lawson trying to keep this inning alive. Takes a hack at the first pitch, unable to make contact. That's a well-hit ball going in the outfield, over the fence and gone. And the ice has been broken. A home run for Abby Lawson. The solo shot makes it 1-0 in favor of the Warriors. And you see her graced with the home run chain. A new addition for SWU Softball, featuring the Warrior head as the Warriors go ahead 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. A big-time swing from Abby Lawson to push the home team in front. Her 4th homer of the season, a big one, and now Maddie Crouch looking to add more. Two quick balls. And how does Redmond respond after giving up just her 2nd hit of the day, but taken for the distance? 3 quick balls. Confidence maybe shaken a little bit as this Erskine team was looking for a big-time upset. And the momentum just got derailed pretty quickly. Redmond finding the strike zone for the first time. And if she can get out of this inning, get a couple minutes to take a breather and just move past the solo shot, she will probably be okay. That ball lifted into right and caught. And thanks to Abby Lawson, it's a 1-0 lead for the Warriors. The solo shot sends SWU in front. Can they hang on? That's the question. The top of the 6th when we come back.
You played before that? Trying to have the thrill or something? And it's wide shut.
West Shores FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Black Warriors FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
West Shores FC, we're by far the greatest team
the world has ever seen.
We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
The final 2 innings and a 1-0 lead for the Warriors in Game 1 of our doubleheader. Of course, Game 2 will be shortly after the conclusion of Game 1, the second game of a 4-game homestand for the Warriors as Gabby Burrows drives it toward deep. It is not caught. It looked like the right fielder had it in her glove. Madeline Knopp just couldn't hang on. The freshman, a critical error as it puts Burrows on first. And the go-ahead run in Kennedy Crouch is now at the plate. There'll be a courtesy runner for Burrows in So Crouch with Haig still at the plate. And the bunt fouled off. And Ava Rogers, the courtesy runner, has to head on back to first base. The pinch runner, understanding how critical this situation is, just a 1-run game. The pitch swung on and missed. Rogers trying to steal second and does so. The 0-2 count. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Haig trying to change that. She delivers, fouled off, behind the plate, stuck in the fence. The 0-2 once more. Just low for ball 1. Rogers stays put at second. Fouled off. Crouch keeping this lengthy at-bat alive. Been a productive one for the Flying Fleet. As Rogers in scoring position, still no outs. And that error by Knopp, a big one at this juncture. The pitch goes high for ball 2. And that ball is well hit. It gets over the head in center field. Rogers comes around to score, and the double and an RBI for Kennedy Crouch, evening this game at 1. A well-hit ball getting just over the head of Moreland in center. now it'll be Summer Nelson to step up. And it'll be another courtesy runner coming in for Erskine. Emily Brown, number 2, standing on second base. And Summer Nelson trying to perhaps drive in the go-ahead run. All even at 1 here. Nelson watches that first pitch go by for ball 1. Nelson, a power hitter. You would expect her to try and get a hold of this one. She has 3 homers this season. Hasn't seen nearly as many appearances as the rest of her teammates. Homered in back-to-back games and a doubleheader against Lise McCrae at the end of March. 2 balls, 1 strike. Haig just trying to get an out on the board. All even at 2. Brown still holding her position on second. Brown, the go-ahead run. And the solo shot from Abby Lawson has been answered. And perhaps more damage can be done here by Erskine in the top of the inning. A full count here for Haig. Can she handle the pressure? She can! Nelson goes down swinging. A huge out there for Haig. And the Warriors can breathe just a little bit easier, as now 1 out is on the board, and the senior from Beaufort, Georgia, can certainly take a deep breath and gain some confidence after recording the strikeout. Just her second of the day, but both have come against Nelson. Kara West, 0 for 2 today. Looking to change that. Another ball for Haig. And earlier on, Haig was getting early swings in the at-bats. As of late, they've been a lot more lengthy. Not as many first pitch swings from Erskine, showing better discipline in the batter's box. And a 3-0 count here for Haig. She delivers. And it's strike 1. A lot of energy here this afternoon. Softball, one of the rowdier sports. And the grounder hops off the glove of Crouch. Another costly mistake. The third baseman and Ware might have gotten in the way a little bit there. But either way, runners on first and second. And that ball is lifted up, caught in left field for out number 2. If the Warriors can get out of this without giving up any more runs, they'll be in a favorable position headed to the bottom of the 6th. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Can Haig shut Erskine down once more. A little bit of a change-up there. Lost some speed, but increased accuracy. Finds the zone for strike one. That ball goes high. And an incredible job by the catcher in Rebecca Lamb to grab hold of it, prevent the runners from advancing. Emily Johnson trying to drive in the go-ahead run and maybe then extras. Haig trying to stop that from happening. Delivers strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 6th. The Warriors trying to avoid trailing. The check swing. And the batter in Johnson did not go. So the check swing keeping the at-bat alive. It's 2-2. Haig gets her out the right way. A strikeout without a fight. And Erskine gets one thanks to a Kennedy Crouch double, but they don't get any more. The Warriors defense steps up and makes the play again. We're headed to the final inning. It's 1-1 when we return.
This is nationwide. The NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Nine, 1, and 2 due up in the order as we come to the bottom of the 6th for Southern Wesleyan. Of course, if SWU could score here and then hold off Erskine in the top of the 7th, the game would be over. So the pressure is on the Warriors in this inning. Redmond has been terrific today. Just 1 run allowed, and it came off the solo shot from Lawson. 3 strikeouts, only 2 hits given up. And a couple errors in that 6th inning proved costly. And the throw not made in time thanks to the error from Burrows at third base. Had a bit of trouble fielding it. And Ware gets on as a result. And what cursed the Warriors in the top of the inning now might be cursing the Flying Fleet here in the bottom. The top of the order, Marissa Moreland with a runner on first. Drives one, well hit, a bomb, it's gone! Another homer in center, and this one comes from Moreland. Makes it 3-1 in favor of SWU. The 5th homer of the season for the freshman from Rossville, Georgia. A huge shot to put SWU up 2. And the momentum firmly with the Warriors. A huge go-ahead home run as Redmond gets taken deep for the second time in as many innings. Now Redmond trying to respond. Another ball well hit into right center. It drops in the outfield and will be a double for Reagan Fulcher. And the bats may have taken a while to heat up, but they're finally cooking here for the Warriors as we come down the stretch. It'll be Rebecca Lamb due up for the Warriors, and the pinch runner, will be Shaylee Roper, the senior from Honey Path, South Carolina. Standing on second with Lamb, hoping to drive her in. A 3-1 lead for the gray and blue. Ball one for Redmond, who started her day so well, has only given up 2 hits in the first 5 innings of this game, and then has given up 2 to the second and third batters here in this inning. A 2-1 count as Lamb lies in wait. She watches it go low for ball 3. And the Warriors trying to put their foot on the gas here. Maybe put their foot on the Tigers' neck in the process. That ball fouled off. And the count is full. Erskine yet to record an out here in this inning. They would love for that to change. And it goes by wild. So going over to first anyway is Lamb, but able to advance to third is Fulcher. Runners on the corners. Chloe Smith due up here for the Warriors. Still no outs here in the bottom of the inning. And pinch running will be number 22, Sarah Woody, the sophomore from Decula, Georgia. Smith sends it straight up into the air, but foul. Just a few feet behind the fans in attendance this afternoon. Smith with runners on the corners, trying to just further add to their advantage. The slow ball up high for a ball. A 1-1 count. Erskine needs to find an out here if they can, just to have any chance of tying this game and pushing it to extra innings. But Redmond hasn't been quite as strong in the past few minutes. You saw the seal kind of start to crack with the home run from Lawson, and then it's been broken wide open here in the bottom of the 6th. Smith in foul territory. Burrows not quite able to get there. And the at-bat will stay alive. It's been a lengthy one for the sophomore. She's 0 for 2 today. Would love for a hit here just to add to this lead. Another run just 60 feet from home. And Smith again fouls off. Still a 1-2 count. Battling here with Redmond. And you got to wonder at some point if maybe Erskine considers going to the bullpen. But that's a pretty emphatic response from Redmond, saying, I'm not done just yet, as she records the strikeout. Her 4th of the day. And gets the first out of the inning. And now it'll be a pitcher's duel once again with Olivia Haig, who's 0 for 2 today, has had a couple deep flies. We'll see what she does here. Barely makes contact with it. It goes right into the glove of Burrows. And so 2 quick outs here for the Warriors. Schreiner trying to keep the inning alive. A 3-1 advantage right now for the Warriors against the Flying Fleet, thanks to the 2-run homer from the freshman Marissa Moreland. And trying to steal and successfully doing so, somehow escaping the tag, was Woody. And because of that, Roper able to come in and score. I don't know how she escaped the tag, but nonetheless comes across. So now 4-1. And time being called as looks like there might perhaps be another courtesy runner situation here. Coach Ardeezer chatting with the home plate umpire. And you can see Woody in a good bit of pain as she heads over to the dugout, all smiles, and replaced by Gabby Smith, the freshman from Lebanon, Pennsylvania. 3 runs here in the bottom of the 6th for the Warriors. Schreiner perhaps just trying to add to it. Fouled off behind the plate. A 1-2 count. The Warriors trying to close in on their 14th conference victory. Schreiner again, still at the plate, 2-2 count. The runner on second, and she might be going home. A well-hit ball from Schreiner just over the head of center field, and another run will come in to score as Smith will come all the way around from second thanks to the double from Schreiner. It was a great effort from Clark in center, just unable to make the grab, and now it's 5-1 SWU, and this game feels drastically different than it did moments ago. As now we'll see Lawson come up, who homered in the last inning to give SWU the opening run of this game. But now currently sitting with a 4-run advantage. As crazy as it is 5-1, but Erskine has out-hit SWU this afternoon. 6 hits to 5. You wouldn't know it based on the scoreboard, but it's been highly effective when SWU has gotten their hits. Lawson fouls off down the left field line. An 0-2 count, 2 outs. Here is Erskine just desperately trying to get out of this inning. Does Redmond perhaps have one last gasp for a strikeout? Or will SWU add more to their already sizable advantage? That'll be a ball. And moving over toward third will be Madeline Knopp. Lawson watches that one go low for ball 2. A 2-2 count. Knopp, 60 feet from home. And Lawson will drive her there. It drops in right, and a little bit of bobble in right as well. But it will still hold Lawson at first base as she drives in her second RBI today. The first one was just herself, and now she drives in Knopp on back-to-back hits. And it looks like we might be having a conversation between Eileen Hawkins and Redmond, who had really firm control of this game for a while, but has just let it slip really in this inning. She had 5 incredibly strong innings, has 4 strikeouts today, is only allowed 2 earned runs. Has only walked 1 batter. But more than likely, unless a miracle happens and Erskine can keep this going, and if Erskine can respond, mirror this effort from the Warriors, then perhaps this game will keep going. But Haig has looked too dominant on the mound this afternoon, or in the circle, I should say. Not on the mound. I've been covering baseball a lot lately. But in the circle, she's looked quite dominant. Crouch. 0 for 2 today. And she'll send it straight toward Burrows at third. A little bit of a bobble, but she's able to make the grab and make the throw to end the inning. SWU adds 5 in the bottom of the 6th, thanks to a Moreland homer and then a few other doubles. It's 6-1 as we head to the top of the 7th, where Erskine needs 5 to stay alive.
You played before that. Should I have the film or something? And it's why
SWU FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
SWU FC, we're by far the greatest team
the world has ever seen.
We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Back here in the top of the 7th, where Erskine needs 5 to stay alive. But they do have a couple things in their favor. One is that they were able to get quite a few runners on base in the last inning and were able to score a run. And the other is that they're at the top of the order with Savannah Coster. We'll see if she can get one last gasp going here for Erskine, who absolutely needs 5 if they want to try and steal one on the road in Game 1 of our doubleheader. The pitch from Haig, a bouncer in the dirt for ball 1. Just let that one get a little bit away from her. The slapper towards short. Crouch's throw is perfect for out number 1. Just 2 outs remain for the Flying Fleet. And Gracie Merrill trying to get on base, help the cause here for Erskine. She chops one again towards short. Crouch's throw is terrific. And another out made from a terrific throw from Crouch, responsible for both outs of this inning. And now just one more needed for the Warriors. Can Haig shut the Flying Fleet down one more time It's a rip into left. Not enough. It is caught. And that will do it. Game 1 of the doubleheader goes to the Warriors thanks to a 5-run 6th inning, giving them the 6-1 victory. Marissa Moreland, what effectively ended up being the game-winning home run. Game 2 of our doubleheader will begin here shortly, but for now, we say
This is nationwide. The NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
You played before that. Trying to have the trim or something. And his white shoes.
White shoes FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
West Coast FC, we're by far the greatest team
the world has ever seen.
We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Game 2 of our doubleheader set to begin with the first pitch from Annika McFarland for the Warriors. It is a strike as we welcome you to Varsity Field in Central South Carolina. My name is Jordan York as we continue with our coverage of some Conference Carolina softball. Of course, we saw Game 1 where it was a victorious Southern Wesleyan team thanks to a terrific bottom of the 6th inning. 5 runs were scored, and the final score ended up being 6-1 after the Warriors were able to shut down the Flying Fleet in the top of the 7th. At the plate for Erskine is Gracie Merrill, the freshman from Candler, who went over in the game earlier today, was walked. So she did see base a couple times. The count currently 1-2. And that pitch goes high for ball 2. Just outside the zone, the count goes full with 1 out here in the top of the 1st. It was Erskine who largely had momentum in the first game of this doubleheader until the 5th and 6th innings, where things kind of got out of hand. The solo homer from Abby Lawson to open the scoring, and then a 5-run 6th, thanks in part to not Annika McFarland, excuse me, but Marissa Moreland's 2-run shot that ended up being the game-winning home run for the Warriors, and then couple other runs added on for insurance purposes. The full count pitch from McFarland fouled off, and the at-bat will stay alive. McFarland this season, a .257 ERA. She is undefeated as a starter, 5-0. This is her 6th start of the season. She's seen 32 innings, and she gets Merrill on strikes. She'll head back to the dugout as McFarland picks up strikeout number 36 on the season. So it'll bring up Hannah Lewis. Lewis, the freshman from Aner, South Carolina, had a strong performance earlier today, and she starts off game 2 of the doubleheader with a single. And Erskine, again, able to get the first hit of the game and put some pressure on the Warriors. They did it in game 1 of this doubleheader. It didn't amount to very much. We'll see if that changes here this afternoon. Gabby Burrows in the batter's box, trying to keep this top of the 1st alive. Burrows earlier today was 1 for 3. Had a single in the 6th inning, and then the pinch runner in her place in Ava Rogers was able to come around and score. She's batting 8th in the lineup so you'll see her later for Erskine. McFarland unable to deliver the final strike. Burrows keeping this inning going. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with a runner in Lewis on first. The pitch is hit back towards second. The diving grab for the out. A tremendous job by Fulcher. And that will end the top of the first. Another hit and a runner on, but no damage done for the Flying Fleet. What can SWU do in the bottom? We'll find out when we return. The bottom of the first set to begin, and on the mound for Erskine, or in the circle, I should say. I keep doing that. I really should stop. But in the circle is Kinsley Kay. This is her 8th appearance of the season, her 4th start. She has an ERA of 8.72 through 17 and 2/3 innings this season. That ball fouled off by Moreland. Marissa Moreland, the freshman who hit the go-ahead and what ended up being game-winning homer in the bottom of the 6th inning in Game 1. She's been terrific in her freshman campaign, adding .333 and now taking the team lead in home runs and RBIs, thanks to her performance earlier today. That's submarine low for ball 2. A 2-2 count for Kay. She delivers just outside. The count will go full. Erskine now 9-24 on the season after falling in Game 1 of the doubleheader, and 3 straight losses, all of them at the hands of the Warriors. Moreland again keeping the at-bat alive. You look at what's ahead for Erskine. Still a lot of Conference Carolinas action to come. They have a Friday doubleheader against Emmanuel, a Saturday doubleheader against Ferrum at home, and they go on the road to Spartanburg to take on Converse before returning home for the season finale doubleheader against Young Harris. Erskine is a team 6-11 on the road this season. And that ball sent directly toward Kay. Moreland unable to beat out the throw. And that will be the first out for the Warriors. And they're going to check out Kay, who took that ball right around the ankle just to make sure she's still okay to keep going. She seemed to be fine. They're going to have her throw a couple pitches just to demonstrate that she's okay. The Erskine medical staff out there watching. And the nod of approval will allow this game to resume. Kay will stay on the mound, and she will face off against Reagan Fulcher, who made the diving grab at second in the top of the first. Fulcher flies one into center. A little bit of trouble getting it. And eventually corralled, but that'll be a double for Fulcher. And she has her 10th double of the season. Now Rebecca Lamb will look to drive her home if possible. Lamb this season, a .319 batting average, 15 RBIs, has the third most hits of any Warrior, has 29 this season. Lamb fouls it off behind the fence. And the count 1-1. Kay cruising on in for strike two. Kay this season has yet to see the Warriors, but she's seen games against a bunch of South Atlantic Conference foes, as well as some Conference Carolinas competition. Her best outing was when she went 6 1/3 innings against Anderson, who's currently tied for the top of the South Atlantic Conference standings. She allowed just 9 hits and 6 runs, and she gets a strikeout, which is her 8th of the season, as Lamb takes the walk of shame back to the dugout. Chloe Smith now to try and clean up here for the Warriors. Smith, a good crack into left, over the head of the left fielder in Merrill, and a double will drive in Fulcher, and Smith will take her place as it is 1-0 Warriors here in the bottom of the first. And now we'll see Olivia Haig, who is a dual threat for this Warriors team. She was terrific on the mound earlier today. Went the complete game. Didn't allow any earned runs, just allowed 1 run off of an error. Had 3 strikeouts, only 1 walk. And on the season, she's batting .280. She was 0 for 3 in Game 1 against the Flying Fleet. And the count is 1-1. 1 out, or 2 outs, excuse me, here in the bottom of the first. The windup is met with the bat and able to make the grab. A nice job there by the catcher in Ellie Rapson. Able to grab the third out of the inning and keep SWU off the board for more than one. They get one and take the lead, but that's all. It's 1-0 as we head to the top of the second when we come back.
This is nationwide. The NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Kennedy Crouch to lead off the top of the second for Erskine. She drove in the one run that scored for the Flying Fleet in Game 1, and she's got a single to lead off the top of the second. A quick start once more for the Flying Fleet. The question is, can they make something of it? They've struggled to do that here as of late. Now it'll be Kara West, the freshman from Woodruff. West this season batting .200. And she bunts foul. Batting .200, has 7 RBIs on the season. Is a threat on the base paths, though. 8 for 9 stealing this season. But no chance for her as she goes down swinging. The second strikeout of the day for McFarland. And now it'll be Ellie Rapson, who we'll see for the first time in this doubleheader. It'll be the first time the Warriors have seen her all season, hitting .250, and she gets a good crack into left center, but Moreland able to range over and make the grab for the second out. Ava Rogers in the batter's box, the freshman from Lancaster, South Carolina. We saw her pinch run in game number 1. Batting .294 this season. Has 2 RBIs. 10 hits and 34 at-bats, a pretty solid ratio. On base about 43% of the time, and she also is 8 for 9 stealing this season. Makes sense why she was the pinch runner earlier for the Flying Fleet. A 1-2 count as McFarland trying to get out of the inning. She rifles one, fouled. A second chance. The delivery a bit outside, and the count will even at 2. Still 1-0 Warriors, the tying run on first base. McFarland low again, and now it's a full count. Fouled off by Rogers, showing her resilience in this at-bat. Rogers this season has yet to have an extra base hit, but has 10 singles. She puts one directly in the glove of the left fielder, Chloe Smith, and that will end the inning. No answer for the Warriors, or for the Flying Fleet, after the Warriors get one. It's 1-0 SWU, headed to the bottom of the inning when we come back.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Abby Schreiner, who had a double and an RBI in that bountiful 6th inning of Game 1 for the Warriors. She leads off the bottom of the 2nd here in Game 2. And the first pitch, a strike for Kay. Kay has been pretty solid on the mound so far. Now at pitch 20, and that's fouled off toward the SWU dugout. The windup and the pitch again fouled off toward the SWU dugout. The Warriors seeking conference win number 15, which would be one shy of the record they set a year ago with 16 when they were the champions of the Southwest Division. They currently sit tied with Young Harris for that title as we speak. Burrows, her throw made in time for out number 1. But 10-1 in the Southwest Division is SWU. And we look at the Conference Carolina's schedule for what's taken place so far today. Young Harris not in action until Friday. So after today, it will be SWU who has the division lead, technically speaking, but both teams only have one division loss. But as we look around what's going on in the Conference Carolinas, North Greenville took down Belmont Abbey 6-1 in game one. Chowan took down UNCP 3-0. Lees-McRae handled Ferrum 13-3. Barton escaped Mount Olive 1-0. And then Shorter shut out Emmanuel 6-0. Converse and King in action right now. And then, of course, the other games that I mentioned, their double headers, are taking place as we speak. Kay able to find the zone for strike two, as Lawson, who homered a solo shot in game one, looking to do some more damage here. She sends a chopper towards second base and a quick pitch for the out. So now it'll be Maddie Crouch, the shortstop who was making plays left and right in game one. We'll see what she can do here in the batter's box with 2 outs. No runners on. Still 1-0 score. And she sends a fly ball into left. Had a little bit too much air, though, and will be caught for out number 3. No runs. They go down 1-2-3, and it's 1-0 Warriors as we head to the top of the third when we come back. You're watching. Emily Johnson to lead off the top of the third here for Erskine. The bottom of the order for the Flying Fleet. But she has not been worthy of that spot this season. You could tell that they use her as at that spot to try and set up the top of the order in Coster and Merrill. You look at her season average, it's second on the team, tied with Gabby Burrows. And Crouch just barely ahead at that number 1 spot. That ball is lifted, fouled, and will fall behind the fence behind home plate. The 0-2 count as McFarland seeks another strikeout. She had one in each of the first 2 innings. Goes high there for ball 1. A 2-2 count. SWU trying to complete the season sweep of Erskine. And you look at the history of this matchup. It's 11 straight victories for the Warriors. And a win here in Game 2 would make it a 500 series all time. They would be tied at 15-15 as the fly ball into right is caught for the first out of the inning. So back to the top of the order in Coster, who grounded out to third base her first time up. The infield getting just a little bit closer every time Coster comes up to the batter's box. The windup from McFarland, fouled by Coster. And that pitch just missing the zone for ball 2. A 2-1 count, 1 out. Still no runs for Erskine. Coster trying to change that. A dribbler towards second. And the throw with plenty of time to spare. Back-to-back ground outs for Coster, who hasn't exactly had the best day today. 1 for 6 on the afternoon. Now we'll see Merrill again, who struck out her first time up. That ball lands in the road. The 0-1. Just a bit low for ball number 1. Merrill watches that go high for ball 2. A terrific afternoon here in central South Carolina. 74 degrees, sunny skies, a light breeze here this afternoon. And a chat between Schreiner and McFarland. A little infield meeting. We'll pause the action momentarily. Merrill at the plate, who is 0 for today. 0 for 4, but has been walked. And a lengthier infield meeting between Schreiner and McFarland. McFarland this season has 2 complete games against Belmont Abbey, she went the full 7. And then Mars Hill, she went 5 in a run rule victory. A big spot here, a 2-2 count. And it swung on and missed. 3 innings, 3 strikeouts for McFarland. It's 1-0 Warriors. We head to the bottom of the 3rd when we come back.
You played before that. Trying to have the trim or something. And it's
West Shore FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
West Shore FC, we're by far the greatest team
the world has ever seen.
we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
A new pitcher here as we get set for the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be Layla Clayton to face off against Megan Ware. Clayton this season, her 15th appearance, has a record of 5-7. She has an ERA of 6.22, which is none too shabby. And that switch tells me that this will likely be a bullpen game, as it's a leadoff deep ball into the outfield. Perhaps turning it into a triple is Ware, and you better be aware of that. A hot start to the inning for the Warriors, thanks to the bat of number 9 in the lineup in Megan Ware. And now it'll set up Moreland, with Ware waiting just 60 feet from home. And a confidence shaker if you're Clayton. The 0-1 is hit right back toward her in left field. It'll drop. Ware going home, and she'll score. A single and an RBI for Moreland, as it's 2-0 Warriors. And now we'll see Reagan Fulcher, who doubled and scored in the first inning. With Moreland on first, we'll see what she does here. And that pitch hits the shoulder of Fulcher. Looks like Moreland was going to steal second anyway, but this just eliminates the question as Fulcher will head on over to first, and Moreland now moves to second. Rebecca Lamb struck out her first time up, trying to avoid the same fate here in this at-bat. Clayton yet to record an out. The 0-1. Clayton is fouled off by Lamb. Clayton would certainly prefer an out here, as she's struggled to get going since she came in relief of Kinsley Kay. That ball headed toward the broadcast booth, just whizzed on by. Two nothing Warriors, 2 strikes, no balls. Clayton gets her first strikeout, and it comes against Lamb, who has not had a game 2 to remember so far. Chloe Smith, the left fielder, who doubled with an RBI. One strike. 80% of Clayton's pitches have been strikes here in the early going. She really pounds the strike zone. And she does it again here, as that will be fouled. Smith this season has been terrific, and you'll also see her on the mound from time to time. A two-way threat. She was 0 for 3 in the first game of this doubleheader, but then found herself with a hit in the top of the first here, looking for another one in the bottom of the third. A lot of foul balls here early. This Warriors team aggressive at the plate. And that ball well hit, just going foul. So Smith keeps it alive. A 1-2 count. 1 out, a double play is in play for Erskine, should they be lucky enough to do so. But instead, it's going to be back-to-back strikeouts for Clayton, who's starting to find a rhythm. And now they just need one more out as Olivia Haig steps up to the plate. She popped up to the catcher to end the first inning. Let's see what she does here in her second at-bat of the day. Moreland held up at second, thought about going to third, but decided better of it. Warriors looking to add on. Flying Fleet looking to hold them off for now. That ball goes low. Haig looking for a hit. It's a grounder. Will get through the gap. A bobble in left field. The throw at third for the out. And so the out was made, but not before the run was scored. It's 3-0 Warriors after Moreland was able to come in from second, but not much else able to happen as a result. That will end the inning. It's 3-0 Warriors through 3 here in Central.
This is nationwide. The NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Number 4, Hannah Lewis to lead off inning number 4 here in Game 2 of our doubleheader. McFarland still out there for the Warriors. A strong performance for her so far. Yet to give up any runs. Only given up 2 hits and has struck out 3. A foul into left field. Lewis sends it toward first off of the glove of Lawson. She couldn't quite corral it. And that will be her on first base. Lewis, thanks to the error from Lawson. It was a tough play to make, but that's one she probably should have been able to. And now a window of opportunity here for Erskine as Burrows is at the plate. Lewis waiting on first. Burrows has 7 homers this season. It's a 1-1 count. The 1-1 high for ball 2. As far as Lewis on first, she doesn't steal often, but she's fairly effective when she tries. 2 for 3 this season. Burrows sending one toward the parking lot. Burrows just barely pushing it foul. Ware was hoping to make the play at third base, but it just bounced off of the left field line. The pitch is smacked by Burrows. Does it have the distance? It has the perfect distance to drop into the center fielder's glove. Moreland able to make the grab for out number 1. So Kennedy Crouch will step up. And she'll rip one down the right field fence. Just foul. A swing and a miss makes the count 0-2. Lewis loitering on first. And back-to-back swings, back-to-back misses. A strikeout for McFarland, her 4th of the afternoon. And now it will be Kara West, who struck out her first time up. Pitch number 1, outside for a ball. The release. Dead center. And the count 1-1. A chopper toward Lawson, and she makes up for the earlier error. She catches the final out of the inning. It's 3-0 Warriors, the bottom of the 4th, when we come back.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
The bottom of the 4th, and Schreiner to do the honors of leading off for the Warriors, who lead it 3-0. Would like to add a little more if they can. The first pitch gets cranked into the road. Clayton back out there for Erskine. She ended the inning with 2 strikeouts and then a base running mistake from the Warriors in Fulcher trying to push for third. Got called out, so the damage was minimized after a pretty precarious position with no outs and at the time 2 runners on. Outside, A 3-1 count here for Clayton. The at-bat remains alive. Clayton this season has walked 52 batters. That's something she has a tendency to do, but she gives up another deep hit. As Schreiner will lead off the inning with a single. And that's a familiar sight for Clayton, who's had a few in this game that have been ripped off of the bat and fallen just in between the gap between the infield and the outfield. A conversation taking place for the Flying Fleet between the catcher and Rapson and the pitcher in Clayton. Lawson back at the plate, and it was a ground out to second last time for Lawson. Shaylee Roper pinch running on first. We saw her pinch run in game number 1. Lawson watching 2 balls go by. Just a bit after 5 o'clock here in Central South Carolina. And Clayton able to find the strike zone for the first time. And the pitch outside. The attempt to steal is safe. Roper takes second. And this season, Roper, in terms of base running, has done not much of it when it comes to stealing bases. That was just her 3rd attempt at stealing this season. But she's now 2 for 3 in doing so. As a team that's the 43rd stolen base in 50 attempts. And that'll get through for a single. Put runners on the corners. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 4th. And you know, if Erskine has anything to say about this, they're hoping that SWU is unable to run rule like they did in Game 2 of the first doubleheader. And you know, if you're SWU, that's exactly what you're hoping to do. Make quick work of the Flying Fleet and then look ahead toward a doubleheader with Ferrum here at Varsity Field on Friday. You can catch the action here on the Conference Carolinas Digital Network beginning at 2 p.m. Another single in the same place will get through, and the run in Roper will come in to score. 3 straight singles. And runners on first and second with Megan Ware due up, who tripled in her first appearance and then ended up coming around to score. She led off the third inning with a triple. But what does she have up her sleeve here? She lays down a bunt. Nobody's covering first, and the bases are loaded. A perfect bunt single for Megan Ware. And now Moreland has a chance to do some serious damage here at the plate. A 4-0 advantage could explode into something much bigger, perhaps. Moreland tried to crank it. Instead, it lands in the road. Runs being scored in 3 out of the 4 innings. For the Warriors. The windup and the pitch goes high. Bases loaded, a critical spot here for Clayton. Outside for ball number 2. A 2-1 count. Moreland again lifts one high, but foul. Moreland had a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 6th in game number 1. That ended up being the difference. What can she do here with prime run scoring potential? She rips one into left. It won't quite go over the fence, but it'll hit the back wall. 2 runs will come around to score. A 2-run double for Marissa Moreland. And now 6-0 Warriors here in the bottom of the 4th. And you can feel this game starting to get away from Erskine. A meeting being had in the circle. Clayton will head back to the dugout as her day is done. Couldn't do much against the potent bats of the Warriors. And it will be number 24, Zaylee Brown, on the mound for Erskine. An ERA of 5.91 on the season. 4 complete games. She has 10 starts this season, and this will be her 14th appearance. You look at what she's done this season, and she's had a bunch of solid performances, in particular Augusta, USC Aiken, Shorter, Lees McRae. But she saw the Warriors last Thursday, and the freshman from Taylorsville gave up 4 runs in just 1 inning. Obviously trying to avoid doing something similar to that here. Runners on second and third. Fulcher at the plate, who has doubled and has been hit by a pitch today. And that ball popped up toward first and caught. An unfortunate result for Fulcher, who will head back to the dugout. Rebecca Lamb, who struck out twice today, now at the plate. Trying to avoid a third. Would really like to drive in a couple runs and put run rules within reach. We'll see if they can. The 8-run rule is in play. Lamb just needs to drive in 2. Called strike. 2-1 count. Eight runs after 5 is the run rule. And that will certainly help the cause. A single that drives in 2, and the Warriors are in the perfect position they wanted to be in. 8-0 in the bottom of the 4th. And a way to break up a trend of strikeouts with a single that drives in 2 from Rebecca Lamb. And now we'll see who ends up batting for the Warriors. You'll start to see them now in pitch hitter territory. This will be Gabby Smith due up. A runner on first, 1 out, and Gabby will send it right towards second. 1 out made, the double play not quite, but Lamb will be out on the fielder's choice. And Gabby Smith will be on first. And it looks like we'll see another pinch hitter. This will be Cassie Swink. The junior from Albemarle, North Carolina, a Cleveland Community College transfer. Looking to do some more damage here for the Warriors. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Pinch hitting for Olivia Haig. Swink watches ball 1 go by. It's a 1-1 count. Brown in the circle. Delivers, and it's fouled. A 1-2 count. Swink this season batting .333 across 10 appearances. Has 1 RBI, and it came against Mars Hill. Came around to score against Erskine in the doubleheader on Thursday. The South Stanley High School graduate. A first-team All-Region member at Cleveland Community College. And she's a 2-sport athlete as well. She was also 3rd-team All-Region in volleyball at Cleveland Community College. The delivery from Brown, just wide. A 2-2 count. Swink sends it right back at Brown. The throw still made in time. Swink cannot believe it, but it does not matter. A 5-run bottom of the fourth for the Warriors put them in run rule position. They just have to shut down Erskine in the top of the fifth. We'll see if they do when we return. Looking to close out here for the Warriors. It'll be Bailey Throckmorton to step in the circle. The junior from Athens, Georgia, trying to close out what would be a run rule victory for the Warriors. This season, she has an ERA of .45. She's given up 1 earned run this season, and it came all the way back on Valentine's Day against Middle Georgia. She has 1 start this season, has gone 15 2/3 innings, and has 16 strikeouts. And that, a good rip. It'll stay fair down that left field line. And a leadoff double for the Flying Fleet as they look to stay alive. A terrific start. Exactly what you could hope for if you were Ellie Rapson, who's in scoring position with Ava Rogers due up. The first pitch, a ball. Throckmorton just a bit outside for ball 2. Finding the zone for strike number 1. And that fouled off by Rogers. A strikeout here would be big for Throckmorton in the hopes of keeping this run rule in play. The 2-2 pitch is fouled toward the Warriors' dugout. And so we'll keep it going. She delivers. That ball is hit to left field and caught. The throw a bit high, but having no idea of it was Rapson, and so she couldn't advance. Tried to make the double play after Rapson. She was so confident it was going to be through. She started going early. It nearly burned her. But now you have 1 out, and the Warriors 2 outs away from closing out what would be a season sweep of the Flying Fleet and draw the series even at 500 all time. Throckmorton hits Johnson. And 2 runners are on now for Erskine. And Throckmorton, that's her first hit batter of the season. And it comes at a time in which the Warriors are trying to close out a run rule. A critical time. Eight nothing. 1 ball, no strikes. Now make it 1 ball, 1 strike. Savannah Coster at the plate. She's 0 for 2 today. And she watches that go by for strike 2. Gracie Merrill due up. She's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts this afternoon. Coster just barely able to get a piece of it. Keep her at bat alive. She delivers just outside, and the count's even at 2. And that high to make the count full, put the pressure on Throckmorton. Trying to win the battle. She fires. Low for ball 4. And the bases are loaded. And now Merrill will step up. And if you're Erskine, pretty much anything in play here will score. So if I'm Coach Hawkins, I'm telling her just hit the ball. Don't strike out, and we keep this game going. Throckmorton puts it in the zone for strike 1. Bases loaded, 1 out. Force outs everywhere you look. Count even at 1. The delivery is met with a pop-up to second. And it's caught, and nobody will advance. An excellent job there. Able to create poor contact. and prevent the runners from trying to advance. Now it's Hannah Lewis, who's 1 for 2 today with the game on the line. She watches ball 1. Rapson on third, Johnson on second, Coster on first, and Lewis at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Throckmorton dialing it up. Fires, it's hit, and it'll drop. Runs will come in to score, 2 of them in fact. Runners are now on the corners, and the Flying Fleet will keep this game alive. Now 8-2. And now Gabby Burrows will step in at the plate. She's yet to really make an impact on this doubleheader. Very unlike what you would expect from someone who's been a cornerstone of the Erskine softball team throughout her career. Burrows looking for more than 2. Not quite able to find it. A chopper, and the run will not count because of the throw made in time from Ware. That will end the inning. Erskine forces the bottom of the inning, and SWU, if they want to win it, they need to. We'll see if they get it when we come back here in Central.
You played before that. Trying to have the trim or something. And is
Where should they see? We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Where should they see? We're by far the greatest team
the world has ever seen.
We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Eight to 2. Here in the bottom of the 5th. A 6-run margin. Erskine forcing the bottom of the inning thanks to the 2-run double from Lewis. Or the 2-run single, I should say. And now SWU with Abby Schreiner at the plate. Working on a count that is currently 2-0. SWU needs 2 for the win. 3-0. And a walk here would be less than ideal for Erskine who just gained a little bit of momentum from their effort in the top of the inning. Able to find the strike zone is Brown. Schreiner, Lawson, and Crouch due up here for the Warriors. All but one Warrior has a hit. That ball deep into left field, but the diving grab made by Merrill. And Schreiner will head back to the Warriors' dugout. Now, Lawson. Abby Lawson, who's 1 for 2 today. Homered in game 1, has a single in game 2. Currently down 0-1 in the count. The delivery low for ball 1. Brown this season, a win-loss record of 3-7. But the freshman has had bright spots. In high school, she was a state champion in 2025. That's a grounder towards second, and the throw made in time for out number 2. Now Maddie Crouch with 2 outs, trying to start the rally here for the Warriors. And Crouch gets a good crack into center, but it's caught. And that will be a quick end to the bottom of the 5th. We play on to the top of the 6th. We go. It's 8-2. The Warriors lead the Flying Fleet.
This is nationwide. The NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Throckmorton back out there for the Warriors after allowing 2 runs in the top of the 5th, doubling the amount of runs she had given up all season until now. And now we'll see how she responds here in the top of the 6th inning. In a way, the pressure, the weight kind of lifted off. She doesn't have to be perfect here in this inning. She's playing with a 6-run cushion. As far as the hopes of a run rule, there was the pressure of if you give up 1 run, you play on. And Erskine was resilient, put up a valiant effort in the top of the 5th, fighting for their lives, their chance to steal one on the road here in Central, and managed to push this game to 6 innings. We'll see if perhaps it goes to 7. Still a lot of time left here in Erskine, riding some momentum. And that'll be ball 4, so a walk for Throckmorton. Kennedy Crouch walks. And Kara West due up. And pinch running will be Ansley Aaron. So with Aaron on first, we'll see what happens here as Kara West steps up to the plate. West, Rapson, and Rogers due up. That ball just goes over the head and the outstretched arm of Lawson. And that is not the prettiest single you'll ever see, but it was an effective one. Puts 2 runners on with no outs here in the top of the inning. Rapson. If Rapson can get a good rip here, this all of a sudden becomes a very interesting ball game, with the visitors riding a ton of momentum. If you're looking at an 8-4, 8-5 ball game with still an inning to be played, it's not out of reach for the Flying Fleet. That ball lifted into foul territory and not caught. So it will stay alive. Two strikes, no balls, and now 1. Erskine's left 5 runners on base today. The Warriors have just left 2. Rapson, a pop-up to Throckmorton on the mound, who makes the grab. And now Rogers will step in. 1 out. Rogers, a good rip into left, and the throw for the double play not caught at second base. Reagan just couldn't quite field it. And now some commotion here in Central. So Rogers lined out to left. And then controversy came on the double play opportunity because the throw was made but not caught. Then it was picked up, and then the base was abandoned. But nonetheless, it won't matter. Aaron will head on over to the dugout and replaced by Emily Brown. So 2 outs, 2 runners on. Warriors trying to get out of a sticky situation here. Throckmorton trying to do the honors. She's at 40 pitches now on the afternoon. And that ball hit left and fouled. So we'll do it all over again. An 0-2 count for Emily Johnson. That's a chopper toward Fulcher at second. She makes the throw for out number 3, and now we'll head to the bottom of the inning. The same score, SWU 8, Erskine 2. We'll be back on the Conference Carolinas Digital Network. A new pitcher for the Flying Fleet as we get set for the bottom of the 6th. Number 1, Mallory Razicka, the junior from Canton, Georgia, will step in the circle. A 5.9 ERA this season. She saw 2 1/3 innings against SWU in the doubleheader on Thursday. Gave up 7 runs and 5 hits. Has seen 29 2/3 innings this season. Opponents batting .308 against her on the year. SWU needs 2 for the run rule victory. If they don't get it, then they just need to stop them from scoring 6 in the top of the 7th. Ruzicka facing off against Megan Ware, who's 2 for 2 today. Has a triple and a single, and she starts the inning off strong with a double. How about 3/4 of the cycle for Megan Ware? All she's missing is the home run. And in all likelihood, she probably won't get it, but still 3/4 of the cycle, highly impressive. And she's in prime position on second with Marissa Moreland in the batter's box. She homered in game one. It was a 2-run shot. If she repeats that here, the Warriors will win it. And ripped off into the road. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The windup. And the pitch will find the zone. Ruzicka ahead, 0-2 in the count. Moreland, the freshman, lifts one. Sky high. In center, it's caught. And Ware unable to advance. The deep fly to center. And Reagan Fulcher will step up with 1 out. Fulcher and Lamb due up for the Warriors. The first pitch, strike for Ruzicka. Ware waiting on second. It's a grounder toward third. And Burrows, the veteran, making the smart play, forcing Ware to hold up at second and still making the throw in time to get Fulcher out as she was headed toward first base. 2 outs. Ware still on second. And Lamb at the plate. Lamb batting .319, has 3 home runs this season. Ruzicka off to a strong start in the bottom of the 6th. Trying to preserve at least a chance for Erskine to bat in the top of the 7th and see what happens. Maybe pull off a shocker here in Central. The pitch finds the zone. A 1-2 count. Lamb, 1 for 3 today. Watches as it goes right past her face for ball 2. 12 hits to 5 in favor of the Warriors. 8 runs to 2. Lamb gets a good crack. It goes off the glove of Burrows. Ware will come around to score. And it's 9-2. So 1 more run will do it. Chloe Smith looking to do the honors. Lamb on first. When it comes to stealing, we don't know how good she is. She's yet to do it this season. But in a tricky position, just chilling on first. Not in scoring position, really, unless a ball is hit very far and more than likely over the fence. The pitch low for a ball. A 2-1 count for Smith. Haig on deck. Smith. Again, it goes off the glove of Burrows. Lamb trying to push for third, and she will hold up there. The run to put it away, just 60 feet away for the Warriors. Can Olivia Haig end this game? She needs a single. A .280 batting average this season. Was 0 in the first game of this doubleheader. Is 1 for 3 today. Watches that go by for a ball. 1 for 2 with an RBI. Gabby Smith pinch hit earlier today. And it's a ball. 3 balls, no strikes. Haig with the green light. It goes in the zone for strike 1. The 9-2 score. And a 5-pitch walk for Haig. The bases are loaded. So now even a walk will put this game away. We'll see what happens here. The bottom of the 6th. It's Abby Schreiner at the plate. Schreiner in this game is 1 for 3. She singled and scored in the 4th inning. Well, she singled and then the runner in her place scored. But now, can she drive in the winning run? First pitch strike. A 7-run game, an 8-run game ends it via the run rule. That pitch not quite able to be framed well enough by the catcher in Rapson. And the count's even at 1. The 2-1 count. That pitch low for ball 3. One more ball will put this game away. Ruzicka needs to find the strike zone if the Flying Fleet want to keep this game alive. The pitch is low for ball 4. And it's anticlimactic, but that will do it. The Warriors finish the season sweep of the Erskine Flying Fleet. They take the doubleheader 6-1 and 10-2. And they move to 27-11 on the season, 15-4 in conference play, and continue their pursuit of a Southwest Division title. For Erskine, they fall to 9-25, and they will return home for Emmanuel and Ferrum this weekend. As for SWU, they will take on this weekend Ferrum Friday before the Southwest Division clash with Young Harris that may determine who is a champion. That's going to do it for us here in Central. The Warriors victorious in dominant fashion. And we wrap up from Varsity Field saying so long. My name's Jordan York. It's been a pleasure calling this broadcast, and we'll see you next time here at Southern Wesleyan University.